Today's video is sponsored by Kroil. Without them, this video would have been a lot harder to do, and more than likely, we probably would break some parts on this video. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a pretty quick video for you guys. We're gonna be taking off the Pitman arm of the old steering gearbox from last week. If you missed last week's upload when we installed the blue top steering gearbox and the Kryptonite Pitman arm, make sure you guys go check it out. I'll link that in the description below. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and show you exactly what tool we're gonna use and how we're gonna do it. It's very simple, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get it taken off. But I can tell you right now, we did a treatment with Kroil on the Pitman arm, so that way we make sure we don't break the actual tool itself, because this is very known to break the tools. All right, so what we did here is we simply just soaked our Pitman arm area here for days. We did 2 treatments twice a day for 2 days, and Kroil will do all the work that we needed to do, because to be honest with you guys, this puller is only a $16 puller, and these really tend to fail a lot. So with Kroil's help, we'll be able to easily pull this Pitman arm off. And I can tell you right now, that $16 Pitman arm puller is gonna save us a lot of money, because the core for the gearbox is $150. But if you break it, you only get half of that. So you get $75 back if you break the gearbox when you're pulling out the Pitman arm. So this is a huge step in the process of making sure you get all your money back from your core. And that's why I wanted to make a separate video on it for you guys, so you knew exactly what tool to buy, necessarily how to treat it with the penetrant oil from Kroil. That link will be in the description below, so that you get the most money back you possibly can get. And it doesn't have to be sent in like immediately after you pull it out. And that's why we also made it in a separate video, because then we get to focus on, for you guys, make a quick video on how to actually pull it off. All right, so first thing first is we're gonna go ahead and get our Pitman arm opened up here. Again, I'll link this in the description below for you guys. I wanna say it was like $16, but I guess don't quote me on that. So before you slide your Pitman arm puller on, there's this rubber sleeve here that was in here that drops down to make up this gap for when you put your new Pitman arm on. You need to take this off, because with this on, you're not going to be able to slide this new Pitman arm puller on it. So now we'll be able to just slide this Pitman arm puller right on over it, just like that, and that'll enable us to actually pull it off. So we're going to go ahead and get it nice and tight, and this is how it's going to sit, just like that. Get our 19mm socket on and just start cranking her. All right, so we actually had to go back to Harbor Freight because our first puller actually started separating on us. Now, hopefully this one will work. We did continue to soak it while we went to Harbor Freight. We had no issues returning the old one that ended up splitting on us. No questions asked, but hopefully we can do this. If this doesn't work, if this starts to spread on us as well, we'll go to option 2, taking an angle grinder and cutting the Pitman arm a little bit so that it can actually separate a little bit better, which is maybe something you just might want to do right away from the get-go while you're using a Pitman arm puller as well. But we want to try and pull the Pitman arm without having to cut it. All right, so if you can see here, we didn't go all the way through when we used the cutting wheel. We had to go to using a cutting wheel, but if you see, we didn't go all the way through, and that's because you don't want to damage this. If you damage this, you're not going to get your core back. So you still need to get that idle arm puller, and of course, Kroil absolutely helped with getting this off. I don't know if you can see here or not, but when you put on a Pitman arm, you absolutely just sandwich it onto that spline. And unfortunately, when it comes down to it, you're making a metal connection. You're almost welding it to that point, and it's really, really hard to get off. Now, you really, like I stated before, you really want to soak it in penetrant oil because you want to be able to take that Pitman arm off with ease. Now, if we didn't soak it in that penetrant oil, it realistically, even with cutting it, it wouldn't have come off that easily. We still would have had to cut it all the way down and risk damaging that spline. And I cannot express it enough, you cannot damage that spline. If you damage that spline, you're not going to get your core back. So, emphasize, use the penetrant oil, soak it, soak it, soak it. Get a cutting wheel, cut it about halfway down, a little bit more than halfway down. Use that Pitman arm puller and it'll pull off real easily. And you guys saw in the video how easily it did pull off. Once you do that, you'll be in way better shape. You'll be happy. You'll get your $150 back. Your bank account will be happy and will be thanking you. Now, again, a big shout out to Kroil for sponsoring today's video. This is something that, honestly, you guys, makes life a heck of a lot easier using this product. I cannot express it enough. I've been using it for years. It's just absolutely outstanding, and you can't go wrong with it. So now the next step is gonna be, we're gonna simply just package up the old gearbox and get it sent back out to Blue Top. They did send you a packaging slip, a return slip that you can just use, and basically you put it in the box that it came in, you'll wrap it back up in that same plastic, and then just send it off on its way and you'll get your money back. It's a real easy process, you guys. You know, follow the steps that I did. Soak your Pitman arm, absolutely soak it. Make sure you get it done good. If you're doing it outside of the truck, if you're doing it inside the truck, you're gonna have a little bit of struggles because you're gonna have to either get a really expensive Pitman arm puller, which they do make them and they will pull that off, but it's not cheap, you guys. It realistically is not cheap. It's a lot cheaper to get a cutting wheel and the Pitman arm puller for Harbor Freight. I'll leave that link in the description below, as well as the Kroil link down there for you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out the video of the install of this gearbox. It was a great video. It was fun to make. It went really well. Once again, thank you for stopping by on today's channel. I appreciate all the support. We are growing. We are going to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, so keep sharing the channel. Keep telling everyone about it because I have a lot of plans. I just want to keep going, you guys. So I have a lot of stuff coming in the works. Make sure you guys stay tuned for next week and have yourselves a great weekend.